Well, here I am out in Scuttlebutt Lodge in God's country, and I'm just thinking a little bit about this unrestricted, uncontrolled, and rampant illegal immigration that's happening in Canada, the United States, and the UK and other countries. And many people might be a little bit puzzled. Why are our governments doing nothing to stop this? Well, of course, they're actually encouraging, promoting, and incenting illegal immigration. And there's a couple of reasons why they're doing this, even though they're obscuring the actual motivations. But let's begin with on the economic front. The Western economies are largely, as I described in my last Substack, a predatory system where the administrative state, the political parties, and the wealthy corporate partners prey on the taxpayers and extract wealth. This is no longer a free market or a capitalist system that we're working in. It's been significantly transitioning. I don't know if I should use that word, but we're transitioning as a society from that free market capitalist system into a predatory system. And probably one of the ways we could describe this is as a Ponzi scheme. And we all know what a Ponzi scheme is. And we all know that a Ponzi scheme, in order for it to continue, it must draw in more suckers every day. And the closer it comes to its endpoint, they scramble and scramble for even more suckers. And that's what our governments are doing. They're bringing in rampant immigration because they need more suckers in this Ponzi scheme that they've created, this predatory system that they have created. It's not surprising. You look at the numbers. The GDP in our countries, per capita GDP, is falling. That means our standards of living are falling. Our overall GDP can only be obscure this by increased immigration. Of course, once upon a time when we used to make babies in our countries, we could make our own suckers. But now that we're not doing that, immigration needs to be significantly increased to bring in more suckers and hide the failing economy in the Western nations. But I think there's another big reason for the need to have rampant illegal immigration, and that it also obscures the significant excess mortality and chronic illnesses that our countries have been experiencing since 2021. We all know what happened in 2021. That was the year of the mandates, where the cure for this cold pandemic was found through Operation Warp Speed and other things, where everybody had to get an mRNA jab. And of course, there's been significant excess mortality, rising cancers, Alzheimer's, blood clots, autoimmune disease, that are all seem to be unexplainable. But as our population increases significantly and rapidly, it becomes much more difficult to model and provide accurate baseline estimates for what the mortality rates ought to be. And I think in large part that is one of the very significant reasons why our governments have opened up our borders, encouraged illegal immigration. And I think there's one final objective behind this. And as we've seen in the UK, rampant illegal immigration also leads to a destabilization of our communities and our society. And as we've seen in the UK, there's significant riots and violence. And this justifies governments to increase their authoritarian nature, to put further restrictions on freedom of thought and expression and mobility, to increase the censorship machine on social media and mainstream media platforms. As we saw in the UK, even a lady silently praying on the street was charged for unlawful behavior, as well as people who were making posts on Facebook and whatnot. So there it is. There's 3 real good reasons why our corrupt governments are opening up our borders, destabilizing our communities. One is for economic, to hide the devastation that's happening to our economies, hide the predatory relationship and the Ponzi scheme that our Western economies have become, obscure and hide the increasing death rates and illnesses as a result of the mRNA mandates, and finally, for the governments to take more and more authority and control over our lives. And as we know, the greatest threat to any government is its legitimacy. When people engage in peaceful, nonviolent, civil disobedience and withhold their consent to be governed by these authoritarian thugs, that's what they fear the most. So let's practice, all of us, peaceful, nonviolent, civil disobedience and get a legitimate government once again in our countries and regain our freedoms and protect our families. Thanks. If you'd like to share this video around, go ahead. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, unfiltered on Substack, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon.